Pratt, turnaround, no good. Riddled around, rebounded by Turner, put back, and that is good. Turner playing in traffic with the bucket, puts PrimeTime up 10-6, 8:04 left here in the first. I'm being told that some people are able to just join us via the feed. So we will have the entire game in replay available, not to worry. That rebound grab by number 55, Dwayne Richardson, for Petersburg now in. Turner, good defense, even though a big man playing against guard, drop back, step back two, ties it up 10 all. 7:23 now left in the first. These teams battling it out. Pratt driving the baseline. He's going to be called for the charge on the baseline. Good work there by Earl Gee II to get in position and take that charge, sacrifice his body. Pratt thought he had a step on him, but Gee able to draw the foul. Gee now running the point. He's still going against Pratt. Gee up and under. Rattle run, no good, but putback is good. Petersburg takes the lead for the first time in this one, 12-10 off of that bucket by Anthony Jones, number 23. Jones now defending on Chris Moore. Moore with a behind-the-back pass slapped away by Anthony Jones. And right now Petersburg, very upbeat. Feel as though momentum is going their direction. P.J. Heath now looking for space with the drop step. Drives. Nothing there, kicks it out to lower, down over to the corner to Pratt. Pratt shot short. Battled away, Petersburg comes up with it. Petersburg looking to build on their lead. Left him all alone, they can't do that. Number 23, Anthony Jones makes him pay with the mid-range jumper. That pushes the lead for Petersburg out to 4. Feed in the post on Turner. That foul is going to send Turner to the line. And here's the thing, PrimeTime is down a couple of players today. I don't believe Trey Breton is here. So they're short a couple of players. They do have 6'4" Trey Suttles on the bench to come in. That free throw cuts the lead to 1. Lolar now pulling out the point. Feed in the post there. P.J. Heath with a smaller man on him. Kicks it out to Turner. Right now, the size differential is basically in favor of PrimeTime. And they retake the lead on that bucket, 15-14 now, up by 1. Out of bounds. So bear with me, I just ran over to the scorer's table and they're saying that the score is 5-28. So we're going to see if we can't get that adjusted. So PrimeTime leading by 1. I know our scoreboard is 6-16, but that is not correct. Knotted up at 18, 4:23 left in the first quarter here. Both teams playing it tight, and that shot is good, easy. Turner, Odell Turner, definitely a big factor here in the first. He puts PrimeTime back up by 2 now. Petersburg looking to run the half-court set, draws it up, looking for a pick, directing traffic, dribbles left and right, and that rattles it in for Earl Gee. Ties it up again, 20 all. PrimeTime, back to the man of the hour, Odell Turner. Deep outside shot by Zarek Lolar is good. The Wingate product 6'2" guard puts his team up by 3 now, 23-20 in favor of PrimeTime. Off the glass, slaps the backboard, that's good. Another bucket for Anthony Jones, cuts the lead to 1. So far Petersburg playing very tough. PJ Heath played through the contact with the bucket. And one thing that you could definitely know early here, PrimeTime is taking advantage of their size. They definitely have more size at every position out there on the floor right now. And it looks like they're going to have a size advantage regardless of who they put in right now. Number 34, Trey Suttle's in, and number 20, Brian Mobley from Johnson C. Smith. He's entering the game. Inside to Mobley. Mobley working. Feeds it to Suttle. Suttle's up and good. Trey Suttles with his first basket within the first 10 seconds of being in the ballgame. Puts his team up 27-22. PrimeTime with a 5-point lead. Largest lead of the ballgame. Drive. And that's going to be a foul. And I believe that's going to go against PJ Heath. If you can hear the fans going in here, that even though it's only May, we have a lot of heat to deal with already in Bank Street here. As anybody who's been to this gym knows, it's legendary. And we've got an issue on the floor, some facilities issue. So we'll be back in just a moment. All right, so I have some clarity on what is going on. They have to actually fix the backboard, and they're going over there with some duct tape. And I said this gym is Bank Street. It is about 100 years old. So a lot of basketball has been played in here over the years. There's no air conditioning. I actually love this gym. A lot of people like the charm of it. It's got that old school feel. A lot of construction going on outside. Bank Street, the primetime players actually expected that they would not be in this gym this year, as there is a new gym being constructed in Fort Mill. And but that gym is not ready yet. And all outside of the Bank Street gym, they've got construction going on, some new homes and some new walkways and things like that, even outside of this gym. So a lot of things happening here in the area with Bank Street. But we're still here. Happy to be here. You're watching Netcast Sports, ECBL coverage, East Coast Basketball League. We'll run down the standings in just a moment and give you a good idea of what you may be able to expect this year from the East Coast Basketball League. Now, we're about halfway through the season, so when I say what to expect this year, you need to catch up quickly. I'll give you a quick update on where we are. Obviously, we're watching PrimeTime and the Petersburg Cavaliers. The Petersburg Cavaliers are in the Northwest Division. The ECBL is divided into two conferences, the Northern Conference and the Southern Conference. Petersburg in the Northwest Division of the Northern Conference. And they are currently sitting atop the Northwest Division at 4-1, right ahead of the Hampton Roads Warriors. So those two teams battling it out for the Northwest Division. Petersburg in solid playoff contention as the first shot drops from the free throw line for Donovan Willis. PrimeTime in the Southern Conference. Second shot not around. Battled around, comes down. Zarek Lolar, the point guard, down with it. Scoreboard is back up and running and everything. We've got the backboard taped and we're good to go. So 2:20 left in the first, 29-23 in favor of PrimeTime. They continue to hold that lead. Petersburg not going anywhere just yet. Petersburg with the size disadvantage that's clear in this one. Kick to the outside. Shot is up. And that's going to be an air ball out of bounds going the other way. Chris Moore kicks it up to Lolar. Lolar's shot is good. Nice running mid-range jumper for Zarek Lolar. Pushes the lead now, 31-23. Petersburg in a half-court set. Not a lot of movement. Quick shot. Rebounded by Mobley. Out to Moore. Moore with the cross-court pass. Ball rattles out for number 34, Trey Suttles on the three ball. Now we're going the other way. Another deep shot. Quick shots being taken by both teams. Moore over to Lolar. Lolar shot. That one no good. Neither team finding the range in the last couple of minutes. We're down to 1:19 here in the first. PrimeTime content to just trade baskets at this point. Up and good. And there's going to be an and-one situation. And that is going to send Donovan Willis for Petersburg to the line. And once again, cuts the lead to 6 on that one. And he's got a chance to eat into that lead just a bit more. 1:13 left in the first here in Fort Mill, South Carolina. One shot coming for Willis, and it's good. That cuts the lead to 5. 31-26 now in favor of PrimeTime. Trey Suttles bringing the ball up. Not normally a point guard. He's decided to do a little ball handling. Now to Heath. Heath, a versatile wing. Kick outside, no good. Brian Mobley's shot, no good. He tried to run it down. And that's going the other way. Under a minute to play now. So in this final minute, 24-second shot clock for both of these teams. Unfortunately, I can see it. It's at 15 seconds right now. Jones up and no good. Rebounded by Mobley. He kicks it out to Moore. Moore thought about a cross-court pass, decided better of it. Over to Mobley. Mobley with the fake drive. Up, under, and good. for Brian Mobley, number 20, the 6'5" former Johnson C. Smith player. Pushes that lead back out to 33-26 now. We've got a stoppage. There's going to be a foul on the perimeter. So PrimeTime comes into this one. They lead their division as well. And they come in at 6-0, undefeated on the season. Only one loss for Petersburg. No losses yet for PrimeTime. Deep shot outside is good. And they needed that one right before the end of the first. They scramble to get back in defense. PrimeTime is probably going to get off one. Under 2 seconds. Okay, stolen. That's going to do it. And that's how we're going to end the first. Only a 4-point differential separates these two teams, 33-29. PrimeTime over Petersburg. We'll be back after the break. So we're back here in Fort Mill for second period coming up. Now here's the thing I got to tell you about the scoreboard. When we show it, like I said, if you were with us at the top of the broadcast, the scoreboard here does not have the digit that shows like 11. It only shows 155. So you will not see the correct score until after we go under the 10-minute mark on your scoreboard, simply because of the scoreboard here in the gym. But it is 11:46 to play, 12-minute quarters here in Fort Mill. That three ball is good. That cuts the lead to only one now. Petersburg not going anywhere. PrimeTime has started to build a lead. Looking to work the dangerous cross pass over to Chris Moore. Chris Moore looking to get started. Hasn't made a lot of noise yet. We've had a couple of assists early on. Leading assist man in the league this year. Inside and score by DeAndre Pratt. And that pushes the lead back out. 35-32 in favor of PrimeTime. So PrimeTime still holding on to that three-point lead. 10:49 left here in the second. PrimeTime, as I said, they are the defending champions, and they are leading their division in the power rankings, which I don't know how much credibility you can give the power rankings, but it's based pretty much on record. But the power rankings, I believe they're number 3 in the league. Most people would argue they should be number 1. There are currently three undefeated teams in the ECBL, so we'll go over that in just a moment. And one of those teams, we're hoping we could see them in a couple of weeks against this PrimeTime team. Drive ball almost slapped away, rattles out, no good, rebounded by Turner. PrimeTime looking to build on their 5-point lead now. Deep shot, no good. That ball rattles out. Petersburg looking to push it. Petersburg coming off of a long bus trip just to get here from Petersburg, Virginia. Literally rolled up from the ride, got off the bus, and had to change quickly with only about 2 minutes before game time. Making a good show of it early. Too much size. Trey Suttles with the putback 2 points, and that pushes it out to 39-32. 9:34 left in the second. No good. Nice maneuver to get to the basket, but no good. Here's PrimeTime on the break. They're so dangerous on the break, and they're going to call that off, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Trey Suttles away from the play. That is a tough call to make. It negates a beautiful alley-oop from Chris Moore to P.J. Heath. Petersburg looking to take advantage of, and there's going to be a foul underneath, and I believe that's going to go against Brian Mobley. So every time PrimeTime looks like they're going to get rolling in their customary traditional up and down play, Petersburg's able to get some stops or a foul. And one guy we've seen get to the line quite a bit here in the first is Donovan Willis. This is his third trip to the line. And so far he's perfect from the line. P.J. Heath back in the ball game as Brian Mobley goes to the bench for PrimeTime. Chris Moore now running the point. One of the advantages that PrimeTime has is they have a lot of versatility at several positions. Chris Moore being one of them, and P.J. Heath who's setting the pick. They do a pick and roll under. Heath kicks the ball out to Pratt. Pratt's shot rims out, no good. And now Petersburg going to look down and get in their half-court set. Shot is good. That shot by Tommy Starks. And up over the top. They tried that same play once again, that time broken up. And it's going to be on the line, sideline. Good call by the referee. Petersburg just unable to keep it in bounds after the steal. DeAndre Pratt to inbound. Heath to Tuttles. Trey Suttles shot no good. That's going to be out of bounds. And it's going to actually be out of bounds on Petersburg because two players were trying to corral the rebound as they went out of bounds. 7:46 left here in the second. 39-36, only a 3-point lead for PrimeTime. Petersburg making a strong showing here in the first. Tough defense there by Moore as he ran up on the ball handler, made him have to give it up. Press, though, ineffective that time against Petersburg. It's going to stay with Petersburg after the ball knocked out of bounds. 41-36 now. PrimeTime with another chance to run. Ball slapped away. That ball knocked out by Dwayne Richardson. It's going to be a turnover. So great defensive play by Richardson. PrimeTime has had several opportunities to get out and run, and right now Petersburg is clearly aware that that's exactly what PrimeTime wants to do, is get out in transition. Behind the back pass to the far corner. That shot's short, but nobody boxes out. Petersburg unable to corral it. Once again, here's PrimeTime. Pratt picked the bump. Heath up and good. P.J. Heath. 6'5" forward out of Allen College. They got a steal with Heath. Ball knocked away by Trey Suttles. He's got nothing but him in the rim. Trey Suttles, and that's going to be a one-handed jam with Statue of Liberty play by Trey Suttles, number 34. Pushes the lead up to the largest they've had for prime time as they finally get some of those transition buckets going. Up by 9 now, 6:19 left to go here. Petersburg dodges one as they get the ball back. Now they've got it, and they're over the baseline. Too fast, out of control. Petersburg unable to make them pay. Had a 3-on-1 break. And there's going to be a timeout on the floor. You're watching the East Coast Basketball League here on netcastsports.com. I am Marcus Shockley. You can catch us here pretty much every week somewhere in the ECBL. Next week we'll be broadcasting from Portsmouth, Virginia, when we do the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament. I'm going to get the number wrong, but I believe it's year number 68. Not year number 68 that we've been at the tournament. Year number 68, the tournament's been in existence. It's only our second year. And I encourage you to tune in next week on netcastsports.com for 12 games, because I guarantee you there will be several players you will see playing next week that will be drafted during the NBA draft on draft night. And as many more times as I can say the word draft in a single sentence. But last year, I believe there was, I know there was several players. Gary Clark ended up, he's playing in the NBA right now. There's several other players that were taken in last year's combine. You will definitely see players in the Portsmouth Invitational that you will see on draft day. So be sure to tune in next week, starting Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern on netcastsports.com. 29 NBA teams in the building. Multiple G League teams in the building scouting those players, looking for that hidden talent. And of course, Netcast Sports will be in the building as well. 5:59 was level set here, 45-36 in favor of PrimeTime. They've sort of had several moments where that transition game looked like it was about to break out in the last few plays. That's exactly what they've done. And just like that, they pushed the lead back out to 11. Largest lead of the ball game for PrimeTime. The half-court set, Odell Turner has been a monster so far. Big block by P.J. Heath, and they're going to call the foul. P.J. Heath with the push. Ticky-tack foul on P.J. Heath. But that will send Anthony Jones to the line for Petersburg. This will give Petersburg a chance to sort of catch their breath and try to eat into that lead just a little bit from the free throw line. They did a good job throughout most of this game keeping it close, but in the last couple of minutes, PrimeTime has gotten that transition game going. And that's the name of the game when you're going against PrimeTime. You've got to watch out for them on the break. In transition, they've got size, they've got multiple passers, multiple ball handlers. If their three ball isn't working, they'll just start going to the hoop. Chris Moore now out of the game. Lolar back in, and his shot is good. Running shot by Zarik Lolar. Pushes the lead out to 12, 49-37 in favor of PrimeTime. Pratt now working, draws two men, looking to bull his way in. Probably should have given the ball up a little bit earlier. Gives it up to Heath now. Heath back to Pratt. Heath, cross court to Lolar. Zarik Lolar. I just turned him into a one-name player. Heath shot, no good. And that's going the other way. Head coach Chris Thomas of the PrimeTime players also coaches his team in the TBT, the basketball tournament. Today's event will go to the Elam ending as they use in the TBT as we get under the 3-minute mark, I believe. Drive, shot, And that is going to be just a out of bounds play. No foul on that one. You can hear it's not as sweltering in here as it was in June when we did the championship as Hickory and PrimeTime played for last year's 2018 title. But even though it's already May and I'm looking outside and the rain has eased off, I've got the door open back here. It was thundering and lightning, and now it's just calm, but it's a beautiful day outside, but it is a hot one already. Deep shot, good, splash, and he watches it go through. 49-40. Petersburg really needed a couple of those as we're under 5 minutes to play, nearing the 4-minute mark. Heath with the deep ball, and that's going to be a 2. Now, here's the thing. We've got an NBA three-point line today. That white tape, the white three-point line, some of the ECBL teams are using it this year. So if there's whatever the farthest NBA or farthest three-point line is at the game, that's what they're using. So today, that is that last shot by Heath will be a 2, or would have been a 2. Wood is a 2. Shot is good, and that's a 3. Petersburg back-to-back triples, 51-43, trying to climb back into it. Suttles looking for Heath. Heath tried to give it up to Lola. Ball slapped away, and that's going to be a foul. And that is going to go against Babajide Onabdipe, number 0. First time we've called his name today. Petersburg would really like to get a stop here. 3:29 left here in the second. Lolar shot drained. No closeout. They're going to call that a 2. So he was right inside of this NBA 3 line over here. Right in front of us. Drive, Euro step, blocked by Turner. Gives it up to Lolar. Lolar to Moore. Almost had it slapped away, was looking to drive the middle. Moore, he can hit that shot, and does. And probably could have cut and called for the 4-point play on the foul. 56-43 in favor of PrimeTime. Now up by 13. Ball slapped away. Gathered back by Petersburg. No over and back because it was touched by PrimeTime. Feet inside, nice dish. And the bucket. 56-45, under 3. Two players on the opposing teams are, and that dunk by PJ Heath. And we've got a couple of injured players on the far end. 58-45, 2:28 left in the second. We've got some moisture on the floor. So I'll look and try to get some scores for you guys, if I can, around the league today. At the half, the North Carolina Coyotes are up on the Hampton Roads Warriors, 50-36. At the end of the third quarter, Florence is up on Augusta, 83-78, around the ECBL. Lots of action today. And every week, there's usually games on Saturdays and Sundays. We'll give you some rundown of who's playing today and where. Florence is up right now in Augusta. Back in action here, nearing the 2-minute mark. Petersburg in danger of letting this one get a little bit away from them. And that's going to be a foul under the basket. That's going to go against Brian Mobley. That might be his third. And Mobley in a little bit of foul trouble here already. And PrimeTime short-handed today with only 7 players. Ball rattles around and good. That shot falling for number 22, Alonzo Howard. Petersburg once again with a chance to cut into the lead here. 2 minutes to go. Drive on Settle, stolen by Chris Moore. Moore drops it off to Lolar. Lolar, no look pass to Heath. Now that one is stolen by Tommy Starks. Starks with the shot, and that's good. Nice bang bang play for Tommy Starks with the steal. Took it full court, found the mid-range, dropped it in, cuts it to 9. That's the closest that this score has been for a bit for the last 5 minutes or so. Heath with the ball. Pick and roll to Subtle. Suttle's shot is good. Rebound by Mobley. Over to Pratt. I'm sorry, over to Moore. Moore inside. Nice little bounce pass to Settle. Settles with the shot and the N1. 60-49. And just like that, this is getting a little bit out of control. We're under a minute to play. 56.5 left. Until the half, 62-49. PrimeTime looking to go into the half, about to break this one wide open. Shot by Suttles is good. 14-point lead now for PrimeTime. Over the top to Heath. Heath is going to be going to the line. Heath, they're always looking for him on that right-hand side. Sorry. Yeah, they're always looking for him on that right-hand side to go for the alley-oop. Heath can play above the rim. They love to use him in that manner. 6'5", Heath. Played at Allen University in South Carolina, just down the road. Second shot, no good. Kick ahead to Dwayne Richardson. Richardson now with the ball. Looking to pull back for 3, no good. And that one's chased down by Moore. Moore looking to run. Kick back to Lolar. Lolar gets free for the 3 and drains it just like that. PrimeTime is rolling 67-49 now, up by 18. Under 30 seconds. We're down to 19 seconds left in the half. And we've got a timeout on the floor for Petersburg as they want to talk things over with just at 8.8 on the clock roughly. It's hard to see from here, but anyway, let's go over in this short break who's playing today. Florence Wildcats are at Augusta Eagles on the road. And as we told you earlier, at the end of the third, Florence is up on Augusta. Hampton Roads is also on the road at the North Carolina Coyotes at Voyager Academy in Durham. North Carolina Coyotes fighting for a playoff spot, currently out of the playoff spot. Hampton Roads trailing in their division. Petersburg here at PrimeTime. South Carolina Upstate on the road at Rowan County in Hall Gym. We did Rowan County just last week as they defeated the East Carolina Cardinals to get their second win of the row, and they may get a win today against South Carolina Upstate. East Carolina is on the road at Fayetteville. Tomorrow we've got Carolina Crusaders traveling to Charlotte to play the Charlotte Tribe. And you've got Hampton Road also on the road against tomorrow against the Carolina Chosen Lions. Moore run out and puts the bucket away, 20-point lead, and that looks like, and it's stolen again. And that shot is good. And that should count. 71-49 now as we go to the half. And we will be back after the half for more ECBL action. Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming back in just a moment with the second half of Primetime Players hosting the Petersburg Cavaliers here in Fort Mill, South Carolina. I am Marcus Shockley with Netcast Sports, and I appreciate you joining me here today. We've just stepped outside. It is a bit wet, no longer raining, but humid. So I'll work on trying to get some more scores for you guys if I can. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Netcast Sports. You can find out, you can also follow the ECBL at ECBL Hoops. So one score in, Hampton Roads falls to the North Carolina Coyotes, 95-88. So the Coyotes move up in the standings, and they are in a battle right now with the Rowan County Bulls. My apologies, I was working on trying to get the scoreboard updated. We'll get it for you in just a second. So 74-53 in favor of Primetime. And as I said, so with 10:32 left in the third period, again, for those of you just joining us, the scoreboard, we've got some issues with our scoreboard here. The scoreboard does not have a digit for the tens. So it says 32, like 0-32 instead of 10-32. So we won't see the accurate score until we actually go under 9. So we're working on that now. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it here, but we're trying to make sure we accurately represent it when the time comes. Okay, so I think think we're all set. 79-55 in favor of Primetime. 9:44 left to go in the third quarter. It's been all Primetime since the end of the second as they pulled away with that devastating transition game. And here we are with these guys once again trying to build on that lead here in the third. Primetime, the defending champions in the ECBL. Petersburg currently leads their division and one of the teams that could challenge Primetime for the title this year. But right now they're in some dire straits. Down by 24 and on defense. Primetime playing a bit short-handed today with only 7 players on the roster. And there's a rare turnover by Primetime as P.J. Heath looked to kick it out to DeAndre Pratt. Pratt went the other direction. And the result is now Petersburg with the ball. We've got a foul on the play. I believe that's going to go against Zarik Lolar. I apologize, Zarik. Petersburg at the line. Coming to you live from Bank Street Gym here in Fort Mill. First shot is good. Second shot no good, but rebounded by Turner. Pratt with the fadeaway, no good. Petersburg with a chance. They don't have numbers, so they decide to slow it up. There's going to be a foul on Zarik Lolar. That's his second in about a minute. And one thing that Primetime cannot afford to do is get into some heavy foul trouble with the short benches they have. However, they do have multiple ball handlers. Zarik Lolar is their primary ball handler. Drive, mid-range shot, no good. Rebounded by, well, actually run down by Donovan Willis. Inside, feeds it to number 3, Tommy Starks, and that's going to cut the lead to 21 now. Petersburg's got to get some defense going in the direction. Primetime looking to set up in the half court. Lolar looking to drive, keeps it over his head, kicks it outside to Heath. Heath's going to kick it. Drive up and score. P.J. Heath just bodies inside, wills the ball in, pushes that lead out. 81-58, 8:19 left here in the third. Petersburg now sets up in the half court. Ball slapped away by P.J. Heath, but it will stay with Petersburg. Heath was defending Alonzo Howard. Howard now moves down to the post, gets the ball, tries to seal, spins to his left and drops it. Good defense actually by Odell Turner, but Alonzo Howard able to drain the shot, cuts the lead back to 21 now. A lot of passes on the interior. Shot is good, and that's going to be 3. 81-63 now in favor of Primetime. Over the top, they love to go over the top to P.J. Heath, at that time broken up by Petersburg. Petersburg drive, ball slapped away, and that is going to be a turnover going over to Primetime. Good defense by the Primetime players. Now Chris Moore. Now when I said earlier they had multiple ball handlers, one of those guys is Chris Moore. Moore gives it out to Heath. Heath driving, kicks it back to Lolar. Lolar with a deep shot, no good. Rimmed out, rebounded by DeAndre Pratt. Nobody boxed out Pratt. Pratt puts it back up and good. And that pushes the lead back to 20 now. And Petersburg just not able to sizably cut into that lead at all. And that is going the other way. Another wasted trip for the Petersburg Cavaliers. He's down to Turner. Turner was a big factor in the first quarter. Been a little quiet now. There's going to be a foul, and he's going to get the and one, and he's going to go to the line. Odell Turner, the former Wingate player, 6'7" forward. Petersburg looking to work the ball around. They've been alternating between taking quick shots in the half court and then working too long in the half court with the 24-second shot clock. That time they're going to draw the foul, and that I believe is going to send Earl Gee to the line. A blocking foul called, and you do have to take into account the fact that PrimeTime only has 7 players, so those fouls starting to mount up for PrimeTime. Gee's first shot up and good. PrimeTime unable to build on their lead. Rebounded by Petersburg, but they're up by 22. Chris Thomas motions to the bench. He wants Trey Settles to come back in. Deep shot by Lolar, no good. A rare fast break opportunity by Petersburg, but finally PrimeTime able to get back in transition. Deep shot rattles out and back in. 3-ball good. Deep shot by Chris Moore, and that one is just wet as it drops. Chris Moore, we've seen that a lot over the years from number 2. Pushes the lead back out to 22. Chris Moore just answers the 3 with a 3 of his own. Decided not to use the rim. Battle in the paint. And turnover as Earl Gee stepped on the sideline. And we've got some wholesale changes here as DeAndre Pratt goes to the bench, as well as Odell Turner for PrimeTime. I believe we've got immediate timeout on the floor, so that gives us a chance to give you a rundown of the league. The East Coast Basketball League is played primarily in the Southeast United States. Teams such as Petersburg and Hampton are the northernmost teams. They play in the Northern Conference, and it stretches all the way down to Augusta. The teams don't only play ECBL teams. They'll play teams outside of the ECBL from time to time. The scrimmages or tournaments and different matchups, but this is ECBL regular season play that they face off with the playoffs beginning in June. We're about halfway through the season. Let's give you a quick rundown of the standings right now. In the Northeast Division, the Winston-Salem Wolves remain unbeaten, 7-0. And they atop the Northeast Division. Northwest Division, these Petersburg Cavaliers 4-1. Lead their division. Southeast Division, Carolina Thunder, they're also perfect, 7-0. we're hoping to get those guys on the air again later. We did a broadcast of them just last week as they defeated Florence Wildcats at home, and they'll be hosting these primetime players. So that could be a matchup of unbeatens in the Southern Conference and a preview of the Southern Conference Championship, a rematch from last season. And, of course, the Southwest Division, these primetime players continue their hold on it. So your top 4 teams, primetime, as of right now, primetime players, Carolina Thunder, Petersburg Cavaliers, and the Winston-Salem Wolves. So you're seeing a matchup right now of these 2 top teams. But right now, DeAndre Pratt's 3 puts primetime way up, 92-67. And they're starting to put this game a bit out of reach with under 5 to play. Petersburg's got to get something going now. There's no lead is safe for the 24-second shot clock. Nice bucket by Anthony Jones. Petersburg looking to get some defensive stops. Nice backdoor cut by Moore. Kicks it back outside. Now Pratt driving. Pratt over the top. No good, but he's going to draw the foul. Chris Thomas looking to send Brian Mobley back in. And P.J. Heath looks like he'll be coming out. It's not clear yet who is coming out. It is Heath, so P.J. Heath will get a rest. And Brian Mobley will come into the game. 4:16 left here in the third. A few players here from other teams. I mentioned the Winston-Salem Wolves. I see Coach David Solomon over there attending the game. A couple of players from the Wolves having a good season here at Bank Street. Also coach of the Charlotte Tribe here in the building. Charlotte Tribe fell to the primetime players earlier in the season. 3 teams remain undefeated in the year. As I mentioned, primetime, Carolina Thunder and the Winston-Salem Wolves, and Petersburg with the 1 loss. Petersburg's got to get something going here. Anthony Jones gives the ball up. Right now, Petersburg looks a little uncertain of what they want to do on offense. Nobody really making a demonstrative move. Shot clock down to 1. Rattles out. No good. Rebounded by Pratt. Pratt looking to keep it. No, kicks it outside to Moore. No good. Nobody boxes out Brian Mobley. And he's going to draw the foul in the post. Primetime still with that sizable lead and the ball. Looking for the best shot now, and they really can take that advantage. And there's a nice play on the interior. Brian Mobley drives, unable to finish, but he's going to draw the foul once again. Just overmatching the size of the Petersburg Cavaliers. Second shot is good, and PrimeTime now able to just cruise, try not to make any mistakes, and they do that very well. Petersburg's got to change things up, get more possessions. May have to look at pressing. That could be dangerous with a team like PrimeTime that's so good at transition, but sometimes you have to make a risk when you're down by this much. And there's a turnover. They can ill afford that. And nobody covers up Chris Moore, and he makes them pay. That is a big no-no. You cannot leave Chris Moore wide open outside the three-point line. 99-69, 30-point lead in favor of the PrimeTime players, cruising to their 7th win on the season. But still, we've got 2 minutes in the third. We've got a timeout on the floor as both teams want to talk things over. So right now, if PrimeTime holds on, there's still another quarter to go, so I don't want to be premature. If PrimeTime holds on, they would move to 7-0. Petersburg would drop to 4-2. They would still hold the second position in the playoffs. So the way the playoffs work in the ECBL is based on conference record in your conference. So the playoff picture for the Southern Conference right now is the Carolina Thunder and PrimeTime are both in as of today. And right behind them is the Charlotte Tribe. And then there's a logjam, I guess, a logjam between the Augusta Eagles, the Carolina Crusaders, and Fayetteville Panthers. But I believe the Augusta Eagles right now are the 4th team in the playoffs in the Southern Conference. So it would be Carolina Thunder, PrimeTime players, Augusta Eagles, and Charlotte Tribe as your Southern Conference playoff teams. Now, the Petersburg Cavaliers, they're in the Northern Conference, so the playoff picture looks like, as of today, the playoff picture looks like this. Winston-Salem at 7-0, followed by Petersburg at 4-1. And then Rowan County is actually 4th, but they're playing South Carolina upstate. So right now, as of now, it's Hampton Roads, who fell to 3-3 today. And the Coyotes are 3-4. So if Rowan County wins, they'll move up to 3rd in the playoffs seeding, and Hampton will drop to 4th. So we're waiting on that. So right now the 4 playoff teams in the Northern Conference as the teams battle for the loose ball as Pratt comes up with it over the top. Good to Trey Suttles. The playoff picture in the Northern Conference is Winston-Salem, Petersburg, Rowan County, and Hampton Roads. Tough baseline drive by Donovan Willis and score. Under a minute to play here. And when the PrimeTime players went over, their the century mark, it created some problems with the scoreboard here for us. So hopefully we can get that straightened out. But they're up 101-71. Seconds left. 101-73. Petersburg desperately trying to fight back into this one. 101-75 now. 6 seconds left. And that's a buzzer, no good. 101-75 in favor of PrimeTime. We'll be back after this break. We're back in action here in the in the fourth. We'll get your scoreboard updated. We're working on to adjust for that century mark that the PrimeTime broke into. 101-75 now in favor of PrimeTime. So as I said in the first, it's actually 11:45 left in the fourth, but the scoreboard here doesn't seem to work above 9 minutes. So, I'm sorry, above the 10 minutes. So the score will be reflected correctly after they drop below the 10-minute mark. However, it is 104-75 now in favor of PrimeTime. The shot is good. Petersburg able to cut into that lead just a little bit. 104-77 now. Petersburg looking to get some energy here to start this fourth. They've got to do something. Time is of the essence with only 11 and a half, really. They came with a deeper roster down from Petersburg. You've got to think, though, there could be some fatigue after that long trip, that long road trip down here from Petersburg, Virginia to Fort Mill, South Carolina. Even though they have a deeper squad on the bench today, that long road trip can still create issues. Trailing by 29. Today is an Elam ending game. I'm not sure how much it will matter with this score. We're waiting to see. So 10:53 left in the fourth. 108-77 in favor of PrimeTime. We've got some moisture on the floor. So you can catch us again next week at the Portsmouth Invitational. The Netcast Sports brings you 12 games from Portsmouth, Virginia, not too far from Hampton Roads, the team in the ECBL, and a little bit of distance from Petersburg, but not too bad. It's relatively closer than Fort Mill. Petersburg is closer to Portsmouth than Fort Mill, I can tell you that. But Portsmouth, Virginia will be the center of the professional basketball world next week as the NBA teams, 29 of the NBA teams, will descend on Portsmouth at the first official draft camp, the kickoff, as it were, to the NBA draft season. Fast break for Primetime. One extra pass ends up in the hands of P.J. Heath, and he drops it in with a light little touch. 111-77 now in favor of Primetime as we hit the 10:30 mark here in the fourth, and it's just been on cruise control most of this second half for Primetime. They took a quick lead in the end of the second, and they never really looked back. Got that transition game working. And one of the things you have to like about Primetime is all the players know exactly where they need to go, and the putback is good by Brian Mobley. Shot by Trey Suttles, rimmed out. Brian Mobley there to clean it up and put it back with authority. Bank shot, good. The bank is open on a Saturday for Petersburg. And Alonzo Howard, 113-80 now. Petersburg desperately looking for some offense, but more importantly, they need it on both ends. They need some offense, they need some defense, they need everything. And there's a quick bucket by Anthony Jones, but nobody gets back, and there's going to be a foul, and I believe that's going to go against P.J. Heath, and they're going to call him for the push. A tough call against P.J. Heath in transition. He had gotten behind the entire defense, and they're saying he pushed off to get free, almost like a wide receiver push off in the NFL. And I'm not sure I agree with that call, but PJ just says okay and comes on down to this end. 9:23 left in this one. 24-second shot clock. Petersburg's got to come up with some magic now. Drive, post move, sweeping, arcing shot, good by Alonzo Howard. They desperately need a defensive stop to have any chance here. They've got to start getting some stops on defense. Oh, no foul as Zarik Lawlar tried to go cut around the corner, and he's knocked to the floor with a hip check. And he's getting up checking the floor. Petersburg here, they got that defensive stop they needed. They need some offense here to make it pay. Mid-range fadeaway, no good. Kind of a tough shot to take, and P.J. Heath comes down with the rebound. Mobley looking to feed it inside to Suttles. Suttles back out to Lawlar. Lawlar fakes, drives. You got to love the patience that Primetime always shows. Mobley, fadeaway, no good. Rebounded by Petersburg, and they're looking to run. They need this bucket, blocked by Mobley. Corralled, knocked from Moore over to Heath, and now here they go again. Lawlar in transition, short. Petersburg now. Deep shot, deep pass. Nice idea, but out of control, and then that leaves Lawlar with the ability to get right inside in transition. And once again, Primetime making them pay. 115 to 111 now. To 84. So 119-89 now. Petersburg continuing to struggle as PrimeTime continues to cruise. 7 minutes left. Circus shot good by number 21, Donovan Willis. 119-91 as Petersburg finally starting to close in on the 100-point mark as well. There is Eric Lolar once again with the bucket. He's been big today, 121-91. Petersburg shot no good. Corralled by Mobley. Mobley with the look ahead to Moore. Moore doesn't really have numbers. Kind of a rare errant pass, and P.J. Heath took a shot to the face, and he's still down. That leaves Petersburg with only 2 defenders to face against. And they still, so Petersburg was playing 4-on-2 with the break and couldn't cash in as we entered the 6:02 minute mark on the clock. And PrimeTime once again 123-91 now, just on cruise control. Up by sorry, I got distracted by what they were talking about here on the sideline. Trying to see what there was a stoppage in play. So up by 32 now. PrimeTime 123-91. Continuing to just cruise along. And I really don't know what the status will be of the Elam ending at this point. So we've got a timeout on the floor. I believe this is a media timeout. 5:56 left to go in the fourth here. You're listening to the East Coast Basketball League here on Netcast Sports. I am Marcus Shockley. You can follow me on Twitter at @M_Shockley. You can follow Netcast Sports at Netcast Sports. This will be our 6th game of the year that we're finishing up for the East Coast Basketball League. We've got 4 more at least before the playoffs that we'll be broadcasting, live streaming on NCSN. So Petersburg looking for some answers. They really need to go on a run on both ends here. Has a man in the post, turns, fades, no good. Rebounded by Moore. Moore with the look-ahead pass to Brian Mobley. Mobley up, and he's going to be called for taking steps. So Petersburg would have liked to have had a bucket, but at least they get another defensive stop. 5.5 to go. Drive by Richardson, and he's going to be called for taking steps. That's going to be a charge called on Trey Suttles. Is it too little, too late? Petersburg to inbound on the side. Bank shot. Good by Anthony Jones, a little stutter step. Just like that, PrimeTime scores again. It took a long time for Petersburg to try to cut into the lead, and just like that, PrimeTime retakes it by that same amount. And a lot of one and done. Zarik Lolar took a punch to the face. Kevin Barnes goes to check on him, make sure he's okay of Petersburg, because he knows he accidentally, no foul call, but Barnes said, I accidentally hit him in the face, so he went to check on him. Just an inadvertent. Well, I guess they are going to call it. I guess they did call a foul. My mistake. Petersburg looking to work the ball. Nice pass to the outside. Let the defense catch up. Good control in the air. Rebound, put back. Good by Donovan Willis. I'm trying to get some update on what the status will be of the Elam ending. I'm not sure how that's going to go. I think it's supposed to go under 4 minutes, but I don't know with this large of a score. I'm not sure if what they'll do here. So I'm waiting to get some clarification. 128 to 95. 129 to 95. PrimeTime just on cruise control right now. Drive and good with the N1. And that will send Tommy Starks to the line. PrimeTime with another bucket. It's just too easy right now for PrimeTime on the offensive end. Moving well without the ball. Ball slapped away, and that is going to stay with Petersburg. 3.5 left to play. Shot up and good by Dwayne Richardson, number 55. Feed over the top, no good. Put back good for Trey Suttles. Deep shot, no good. Rebound over the top by DeAndre Pratt. Kick ahead and no good. Trey Suttles tried to run it down. .257 left. Petersburg with another chance to break the century mark on this possession. So we're apparently going to the Elam ending now. They're putting up a target score of 140. So the first team to score 140, and that will do it. And of course, as you can look at the scoreboard, that means that right now PrimeTime only has scored 7. Petersburg would have to score 41. So basically, this has become a 41-7 game with the Elam ending. Or a 22 possession to 3 possession game. So they've turned off the clock. First team to 140 with the win, and that's going to go a long way to help that. 136 now to 99. PrimeTime only needs 4 points to win. He was on the line. That's going to make it even easier. Some coaches have argued that with the Elam ending, you could just basically, if you have the lead, you should just be putting the other team on the line and just forcing them into more possessions. Right now, this is it would have been a large task with or without the Elam ending for Petersburg. Lower inside and good for Chris Moore, and that puts them at 138. They're only 1 bucket away from the win. 138-99 now. Petersburg up and blocked, rebounded by Moore, blocked by Trey Suttles. Lolar, oh, he's going to be called for the double dribble, and he knows it. That was indeed a double dribble. That was almost a classic double dribble. To Petersburg now. Have not scored it since we've gone to the Elam ending. Deep shot. No good. Rebounded by Pratt. PrimeTime only needs a bucket to win. And that's going to do it. 140 is the target score for the Elam ending, and that's going to do it. 140-99 is your final score. PrimeTime gets out of here with the win. They move to 7-0 in the season. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on Netcast Sports.